It all starts at Camp Pineway, your typical lakeside summer getaway, or so it seems. Camp owners Jean and Kathy are enjoying a peaceful afternoon by the water when they realize they're out of beer. And if horror movies have taught us anything, it's this: never go back alone for beer. Kathy breaks that sacred rule. She returns to the cabin, beer in hand, only to discover a grotesque sight: a guitar jammed straight into Jean's mouth.
Panic sets in.
She bolts to the car, locks herself in, but freezes before she can start the engine.
Too late.
The killer's already in the back seat. One clean stab through the seat.
Kathy's dead. The killer?
Masked like the devil himself. Welcome to Camp Pineway. This isn't a summer camp, it's a one-way ticket to hell. The real horror begins the day before opening, as 11 counselors arrive to prep for the kids. Once campers themselves, they're now grown up, kind of. The lineup includes Jason, Mike, Claire, Shannon, Ezra, Miley, Noelle, Demi, Ari, Bobby and Chris. Jason, the oldest at 24, stands out. Not in a good way. While others grew up, Jason never left. He's been returning every year, clinging to nostalgia like it's a life raft. The others mock him for it, even his mom had to drop him off this time. Last year, the teasing was so bad he swore he'd never return. But guess what? He's back. Maybe because John and Kathy invited him. Or maybe, he just didn't know where else to go. Jason is the emotional core here, awkward, nostalgic, and stuck in the past. He has no real friends, no career, and even his ex Claire won't give him the time of day. Her only reason for returning? Her new boyfriend dumped her 3 weeks ago. Meanwhile, the rest of the group falls into their typical slasher archetypes. Demi, the popular influencer, immediately turns Jason into her personal assistant for her vlog. Ari, the chill screenwriter, shares his new horror script with Shannon, until rich boys Chris and Bobby crash the moment. There's tension between Chris and Bobby, something about a shared stepdad and a borrowed car, but their bromance holds.
Jason?
He keeps trying to fit in. But everywhere he goes, people ask the same question. You came back? Still stuck on this place? He laughs it off, but you can see it in his eyes, he's breaking inside. When he stumbles into the camp office, he finds a note from John and Kathy.
Emergency. Back tomorrow. Please watch the camp. For once, Jason feels important.
In his head, he's in charge now. But in reality, he has no clue what's coming. Later that evening, Jason tries bonding with everyone, even gives a speech about leadership.
No one listens.
He ends up collecting everyone's phones, as per camp rules, and that's the last time they'll have contact with the outside world. He gives Claire a private archery lesson and tries to impress her by mentioning he was specially invited.
She brushes it off.
Everyone else is pairing up romantically, except Bobby, who's stuck in the friend zone. He tries hitting on Demi, but she's already taken by Mike.
Bobby walks off to sulk.
And that's when Jason finds him. But Bobby doesn't even recognize Jason at first. Jason tries connecting with Bobby, reminding him they've been coming to camp together for 8 years. Bobby had always been the ladies' man, or at least tried to be, but clearly his charm never really worked. After a bit of awkward silence, Bobby finally remembers Jason, and then casually drops. Wait, weren't you not even supposed to be here this year?
Ouch.
At lunch, Bobby tries a new strategy, flirting with Miley by pretending to be vegan. Spoiler, it doesn't work. Meanwhile, we learn that Ari has a deadly nut allergy. Even the mention of peanuts makes him anxious. But let's get back to the horror. That night, Demi is alone in her cabin when the killer creeps up behind her. We don't see much, just blood spraying the walls. Cut to Miley in the kitchen, just about to betray her veganism with a juicy burger.
Before she can take a bite. Wham!
The killer decapitates her in one brutal swing. Mike hears the commotion and rushes in.
Big mistake.
He gets gutted before he can even scream. Elsewhere, Jason, who has a bad habit of barging into people's cabins, walks into Demi's, and finds her bloody corpse. He runs out, screaming for help, but no one takes him seriously. They think it's another one of his desperate attempts to get attention. Jason tries calling the police, but surprise, all the phones are gone. Eventually, the others check Demi's cabin and find no body, just a blood-soaked bed. Now they're officially scared. They make a run for the cars, but none of them work. The killer made sure of that. So, they retreat to one cabin and barricade themselves inside. That's when they realize Miley and Mike are missing. Their only hope? The landline phone in the main hall. Jason volunteers to go, but Claire won't let him go alone. They agree on a group: Jason, Claire, and Ezra.
They reach the hall, but the phone? Dead. Cut line.
But that's not the worst part. They open the fridge and find Miley's severed head staring back at them. Everyone panics and scatters. Jason's the only one who makes it back. He tells the others what happened, but Ari and Ezra never return.
Hours pass.
Tension turns into desperation. Then Noelle, the camp goth, suggests something unthinkable: contacting the dead. She pulls out a Ouija board, eager to reach the spirit world. They try contacting Ezra. First question: are you dead?
Yes.
Who killed you?
I don't know.
Before they can get more answers, the door creaks open, and in walks Ezra.
Alive.
Everyone freezes.
Noelle's seance? Totally fake.
But before anyone can process that, Bobby panics and sprays bear repellent straight into Ezra's face, hospital-level damage. Meanwhile, the real Ari is captured.
Tied up and terrified.
The killer walks in, pulls out a knife coated in peanut butter, and stabs him. Ari dies gasping, his allergy weaponized against him. The killer drags the body away. Back at the cabin, Ezra manages to speak through the pain, and drops a bombshell. Jason is the killer. He says Jason took everyone's phones, isolated himself, and has been acting off. The group believes him. They tie Jason up and start interrogating him, but with his mouth taped shut, he can't say a word. They leave Bobby to watch him while the rest grab tools from the kitchen. That's when Claire sets him free. She tells him to run, but Jason refuses. He still wants to save the others. They find John and Kathy's mutilated bodies near the lake. There's no backup coming.
No help.
But Jason won't abandon the group. He pushes Claire ahead and returns alone.
Now things fall apart fast.
Everyone splits up to look for their phones, a fatal mistake. The killer strikes again, this time Noelle. She's stabbed, and just as the killer is about to crush her skull with a rock, another masked figure appears.
2 killers.
The second one smashes Noelle's face with a rock. The killers are finally revealed.
Demi and Mike.
Yep, they faked their deaths.
Why? Fame.
Internet glory.
Their plan?
Create a massacre where they're the only 2 survivors. Turn tragedy into viral clout. Chris walks in on them making out, shocked to see them alive. The rest of the group is stunned too, but they're still convinced Jason is the killer. Now that their secret's at risk, Demi and Mike go full psycho. They film a confession video, blaming everything on Jason. Then they prepare to kill the rest to sell their story and seal their fame.
And now, the bloodbath begins.
As soon as Jason steps back into camp, Mike ambushes him, knocking him out cold. That's when the killing spree kicks into overdrive.
The first to fall? Ezra. It's brutal.
The killer shatters his leg, then buries an axe in his skull, hands down the most violent kill of the film.
Next in line, Chris.
Just as the killer moves in, Bobby throws himself into the chaos, risking his life to draw the killer away. But it's Claire, still fighting to save Jason, who shows up just in time and saves Bobby from certain death. And it's in this moment that the truth comes crashing down. Mike and Demi are the killers. Mike's right there, mask off.
Demi?
She's busy framing Jason for everything. Claire doesn't waste time. She bolts toward Jason's location. Back at the cabin, Mike goes in for one last attack on Bobby. What follows is an all-out, knockdown drag-out fight. The cabin catches fire, smoke and flames everywhere, but Bobby manages to turn the tables, stabbing Mike straight through the neck. Mike's dreams of internet stardom?
Extinguished. Permanently.
Meanwhile, Demi tries a different tactic. She corners Jason and offers him a deal.
They could share the spotlight. Fame. Fortune.
But Jason's not buying it. Just then, Claire arrives, bow in hand. Demi lunges with a knife. Jason's quick, dodging the strike thanks to that archery training earlier.
Twang.
Claire lets an arrow fly, straight into Demi's eye.
But she's not dead. Not yet.
In a final burst of rage, Demi lashes out, and accidentally drives the arrow deeper into her own skull, finishing the job she couldn't. With the cabin engulfed in flames, Jason rushes back in and pulls Bobby from the wreckage. He knows exactly who the real monsters were. As the fire dies down and the night slowly gives way to dawn, Chris and Shannon return. Safe but changed forever. Jason and Claire stand quietly in the chaos, bound by trauma, survival, and something unspoken. The screen fades to black with a lingering question. How do you survive a place like this, and ever go back to normal? And that's a wrap on Camp Pineway, hell of a summer. If you made it out of Camp Pineway alive, don't forget to hit that like button, drop your favorite kill in the comments, And subscribe for more killer recaps every week.